Well, God bless you, and thank you once again for joining me. God richly bless you. This week, the word that God has really been impressing on my heart is trust. That word is very strong. I mean, when you trust in someone or in something, what you're doing basically, you're relying on the person or you're relying on the thing that you're putting your trust in. So I get the question for you today is, in what or in whom does your trust really rest in? I mean, Psalms chapter 20 verse 7, David said this. He said, some trust in horses, some trust in chariots. But then he made a profound statement. He said, but we, hallelujah, I hope that's you, we will trust in the name of the Lord. What is David saying? He said, I am not going to trust in the strength of my men or my soldiers. I'm not going to trust in my own resources. Do you trust or do you put your trust in your own ability? Here I'm here to tell you there are people that I know who were stronger or smarter than even you, who could not control what their future really held. So you need to really know in whom or in what you put your trust in. I mean, you have to realize that in what or in whom you put your trust in, that has to be secure, unchanging. I mean, that's what David is able to say. We will trust in the name of the Lord. In other words, because God is unchanging. He's the same yesterday, He's the same today, He's the same forever. I mean, to put your trust in things like money. I mean, we all know about the economic crash. That's unpredictable. You could lose your job today. You could lose that friend that you put your trust in. But when you put your trust in God, see, David says something very significant. He said this. He said, I have been young. I mean, this is a man who has walked with God. Near the end of his life, he said, I've been young, but now I am old. I've yet to see the righteous forsaken. So when you put your trust in God, you will not be put to shame. Putting your trust in God is laying your treasures in something that is more secure, that stand firm. I mean, how many of you have given or asked somebody for help? For instance, a brother or a sister. Even for some of you who had an assignment, you trusted in somebody's hands to be able to take care of it. Most of the time, I tell you, we are a bit shaky depending on the person that we gave the paper. We're not really at peace until the paper is really returned or the work is really done. It is completed. We still worry whether it is done accordingly. See, but when you give something to God, you can really go to bed. See, Brother Paul says something very significant, read in Philippians chapter 4, verse 6 and 7. This is what happens when you trust and entrust whatever it is that you're going through to God. This is the result. It says, do not be anxious. In other words, when you put your trust in God, when you bring that thing to God, is that you will not have to be anxious for nothing. But rather, here's what he said, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, by bringing it to God with thanksgiving, and when you present that request to Him, there is a peace that is released. See, when you trust in God, trusting in God leads to not worrying. When you trust in God, you should not be anxious. So the question is it possible that you are always anxious, worrying, because you have not really put your trust in Him? Beloved, I encourage you this week, today, start trusting in the name of the Lord. He loves you. He cares for you. He's more secure than anything else in this life. Peace.